And with me as always is Trey.
Hey guys, what's going on? We're back again with we're doing it a little bit earlier today, at 1:15. We usually do it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon if you guys want to catch us live, kick it with us in the chat, maybe ask a few questions. However, I do know that a lot of you guys do tune in afterwards, but if you're interested in catching us live, it is usually at 4 o'clock, but we're starting a little bit early today. So, so one thing I want to say, I want to say to Matt that I'm sorry about Monday, and I really don't think that it was the Patriots defense. I think Sam Darnold was just bad that game.
He was seeing ghosts.
He was he was seeing ghosts for he was seeing ghosts for sure. That was I don't think I've ever seen like a QB performance that bad, and I kind of cringed a couple times when the announcers were hyping up the Patriots defense, and I'm a Patriots fan, and I was kind of cringing because it's like they didn't really do anything. Like there was a few picks where he literally just like tossed it up to them. So. But with that, they shut him out, and we have Brett. He is 4-1 in our contest right now. Same with the other guys. So that's the update for the 1 million coin giveaway. Other than that, nothing really too much going intro wise. So random question for the chat, aka the comment section. What is your celebrity crush? That's what I want to know in the comment section in the chat if you guys just heard me. But with that being said, my I don't know if you heard that, but my cat's talking to me right now, but that's besides the point. But Shane, how is your week going? Just I guess give us an update about how life's been for you and what you got going on so far.
It's going good, man. Definitely the clubs is popping right now. I mean, the big wave starting tonight, and then my wave is Sunday. So I've been playing some lab games against other club participants, which has, gone pretty well. I feel comfortable with my defense. I feel comfortable with my offense. Gotta just remain focused and calm because I know definitely that if it's a close game, it's whoever gets more nervous that will make the mistake. And so I've dealt with it for a long time in other aspects of my life, so I feel comfortable if the game's tight. Plus, another thing, pro tip, you ready? Trey, I have an 89 kicker overall that can kick 57 yards, right? But that's not the kicker.
Right.
Haha, not the kicker. I put no icing on him.
Oh, so
The
he's
cap.
got
I can't get iced.
right, but it's clutch kicker or something like that is what the ability is called. So he can't get iced.
Something like that, yeah. And it's only 5 cap. And
Right.
but the thing is like if it's a tight game, and it's like 10-10 and I'm at their 38-yard line with 3 seconds left and I go kick the field goal, they can't ice me.
And ladies and gentlemen that are watching this, that what you just heard right there from Shane, that's what separates the, you know what I'm saying? Like, thinking outside the box like that, that is one of the few things that separates the really good players from the not so great players because if it was me or like anyone else, I'm sure, people might not even take something like that into consideration. So I respect Shane for that. So, but Shane, I do have a question for you since it is just around the corner.
Shoot from the hip.
I'm shooting from the hip for sure. So, but so going into this game, you know that it's high stakes, double elimination, and maybe you can relate this back to, maybe some sporting events that you might have been involved in real life. But do you have I guess what I'm trying to say is like, what's your preparation going into like a big game like this? You know it's gonna be a hell game. You know that it's gonna be a sweaty. So I guess what I'm asking for you is there a certain process or like a certain routine that you get yourself into when you know that there's gonna be some high stakes going into the game, or do you just, you know,
No, you
go
know
with
what,
it?
Trey? That's a perfect question, bro. And I mean, this is for all the people that want to get into it. This is for all the people that are doing stuff in life, just in general. I'm gonna be dead honest with you guys. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna be fake. I'm gonna be just genuine. When the game starts, be it when I was doing sports in high school, be it when I'm in a big game, like even basketball, bro, even like tournaments. I am nervous as hell to start the game.
Hmm.
Sometimes I might even gag. I'm not joking, you guys. I am not fronting. I am not trying to be cool. Because a lot of people, will be like, yeah, I'm ready, but they're scared. But they don't want to admit they're scared. And I'm going to go off topic just really quick, but I want to answer this question. You know who
Right.
admitted that? I saw that answer, Matt. Mike Tyson admitted that he was scared before every fight.
I mean, I
Not.
mean,
I mean.
that's
I mean.
that.
It's
Yeah.
fight. It's fighting, yes. Yeah, so you can get knocked out, but in the same sense, it's still the same thing in the sense because like here. So anyway, so I'll get back on topic. I'm nervous. I might even gag, like you know what I mean, like fake throw up. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Um, but once the game gets started, a couple minutes in, maybe a minute in, I become as like cool as the other side of the pillow. Shout out to Stuart Scott. But to be honest, how I prep myself is if I'm at the gym, if I'm laying in bed, I basically visualize the game, if that makes sense. And I
Right.
put myself in situations like it's 20-17. You need a touchdown last drive. I picture myself in bad situations, and I can feel my heart rate like go way up, and I feel like the nerves in my body, and it's just like I try to refocus my breath and refocus just like what happens. Does that help me? Probably. Does it help me for sure? I don't know, but does it help my psyche? Probably, but I just go over what can happen in a game over and over and over in my brain. It's all about preparation, I guess. It's all about knowing what's going to happen cuz I mean there are some very very good players that I've played against, right? Just for fun, just for labbing, and then I'll play them later on down the road in tournament games or money games, and if the game's tight, guess who ends up choking? Them. Because I don't think a lot of people realize how much even Madden is a mental aspect. It's big. It's big because when you get it down to the little square in the game is most people will run the same defenses. I mean, and most people will run the same offenses, and it's about adaptability and it's also about handling pressure. I mean, I saw a guy get eliminated because he threw off his back foot, cross his body, which he didn't do all game when the game was, I think it was tied or he was down one, and he got picked off for the game last night. That's not being mentally prepared, in my opinion. But to answer your question, yes. If I'm at the gym, if I'm on the treadmill, if I'm in bed, I'm just picturing and going over what I need to do. I'm visualizing the game, different points of the game. So I mean, that's how I do it.
Right. Yeah, and it makes sense too. I mean, and I imagine like when you're at the gym or you're doing whatever, like you're just trying to lock in on your game plan, and then you're hoping for the best, but you're almost kind of prepping for the worst because and I feel like it's important to and this honestly, like, it sounds so cliche, but it's honestly like so true. Like, is to worry about the things that you can control and try not to worry about the things that are just not in your control. Like, that's such like a good concept, but I mean you can't really, but you still do it regardless. So,
Oh,
but
definitely, definitely, and sometimes you overanalyze too. I mean, that's a big thing in life. Like you want to control certain things, and I like to control certain things, but in the end, you can't control it. But like for this, like for sports or for even gaming that are pro gamers, you have to visualize and prep yourself for the worst possible crap to happen.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So yeah, some exciting things going on. Speaking of which, shout out to I think it's funny because I'm kind of supposed to be like the nerd in this kind of situation, trying to follow up with live events and club series and stuff like that, but I guess they're doing a little bit different this year. But I guess we have news that we have Mills who will be in Shane's division if he wins out. He's the Texans. I wonder who's going to be like the Jags. We have the Jags, the Texans, and the Colts, I believe, in your division, AFC South.
Oh, the Dreenies in my division. Damn, I gotta plan all this out better next time, bro.
I thought Green was the Giants.
No,
They were the Cowboys.
he's the Jags this year. So is Shakobi.
Okay.
Which,
Yeah.
look, I'm gonna just be honest. It is what it is. You just gotta handle business. I know. Mills won the PS4 side of the Texans. Joe Rice won the Xbox One. I mean, I've battled Joe Rice. I mean, it's whatever. The yeah, Drini, yeah, it's definitely in my division. I didn't think about that. I mean, but I
I'm,
mean, it is what it is.
yeah. He's probably like, dang it, now I'm gonna stress about that the whole time we're doing this podcast.
Nah, man. You know what? You know what's crazy, bro? It's whatever. I've played enough pros. I've played Skibbo. I've played Mo. I've played Voltrax. Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I
No,
am? I played Crush. I played Joe Rice. I mean, I've played a lot of pros, man. I mean,
yeah,
everybody was hyping up Pavon, and I played him this year. He's whatever, and it's gonna sound like hating, but it's whatever. And I told him we can play for money on regs, and you know,
right.
I'm just saying, man. Dream. Let's say I make it. Let's say I make live and Drini blows me out 56-0. Oh well, it happens. Life
Hmm.
goes on.
Yeah.
So it's not that big a deal, bro. This is like I've told people. You let your ego get too much involved. It's just a game. In the long haul, it's just a game. Like,
Right.
do I want to win it all? F yeah, I almost swore. F yeah, heck yeah, I want to win it all. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna be trying. But you know what? In the long, people need to not get personal. It's just a game. It's just a game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean that's true too. I mean, we all love Madden, we all want to win, just like you said. But I mean, life goes on. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a game. I mean, if you kind of take it, kind of too seriously, then might be something wrong there. But
Yeah, but hey,
now,
just to answer your question real quick.
uh,
Let's say I make live and lose to Drini, right? I still made 6 to 9 grand.
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm
That's a
not
good
mad.
way.
I'm not
Yeah,
mad,
I'm not
bro.
mad. I'm not mad. Yeah, not mad at all. Shit. And Drini has like, and like I actually like Drini. I think Drini is a good kid overall, but I feel like in terms of like Madden, he probably has like the most like I don't want to say like he doesn't have he might not have the lab partners, but I feel like he's almost pressured to perform at such a high level because he's with the Dallas Cowboys. So, but I mean, so far ever since he's been signed with them, he's definitely been performing. So
Yeah,
not
but
really.
if the game's tight, does the pressure get to him?
Yeah.
Because I'm a nobody. You see what I'm saying? But first of
Yeah.
all, I have to make it to the live event, bro. I have to
Yeah.
handle business. I'm not worried about that. That's down the road.
That's down the road. Let me just focus on what's in front of me. So, all right. So yeah, definitely some exciting stuff going on. Yo, real talk. I mentioned this a few weeks back. I like to talk about the new MUT items and the little cool things that they add into MUT, but honestly, I almost feel like that I'm doing you guys a disservice for doing that because I'm not a big MUT player, to be honest with you. And I feel like MUT could be cool, so that's why I think that if anyone happens to come across this podcast and MUT might be a hobby of them, maybe they play weekend league or maybe they go seasons and they're big into MUT. I feel like, hit me up on Twitter. Justice97 is my Twitter name. So maybe we can have a third person in the podcast that, knows more about MUT that can provide you guys interesting and more insightful information about Madden Ultimate Team content. But for this week, we're gonna look at the most feared promo. Um, so So this Jabril Peppers looks pretty sweet though. Scary fast, huh? But I'm on the auction house right now. They got a few right guards. I think they said Ray Lewis is a scary fast. Um, there's a little bit of controversy about that because I guess people are saying that he was never really known as being quote unquote fast, but I think Ray Lewis has been like a pivotal role in most feared for a while, so I think that that's why they decided to keep him in there. So,
Did
but
you did you hey did you hear, Trey? Not to interrupt you, but did you hear about in Mutt that they came out with the Moss ability and they took it
hey,
away, bro? And I love EA for doing that. I love it. I love it. I love it. The salary cap for that is like 999, or the ability, excuse me. But like, hey, shout out to everybody in here. I just want to let you guys know there's 11 people in here right now. So
oh
shout out to you
damn,
guys. Also, remember before the holidays, for before Thanksgiving holiday podcast and Christmas podcast, we will be giving out gift cards. So make sure you are joining for sure and you're in the podcast a week before each holiday, Thanksgiving and Christmas, so we can give you guys some gift cards. So anyways, I apologize, Trey. I just wanted to shout out all the people in here right now.
oh no, it's all good. So yeah, definitely, because I feel like that would be a good idea. So yeah, but anyway, ooh, 92 ET3. I just saw that in the browse the store pack, but he's not on the auction house, so I wonder how much he'd be going for. So, but anyway, so real quick, we got the Washington Redskins at the Minnesota Vikings. Yo, Dalvin Cook is looking really impressive lately. I mean, wasn't it like last week he had like 4 rushing touchdowns? And
Yes.
I'm and I'm pretty excited because they gave him jukebox. They gave him an X Factor in online head to head, and they also have Harrison Smith with reinforcement. So the Vikings are definitely looking pretty scary right now. So Vikings at Redskins. Vikings are at home, so it's the other way around. But I got the Vikings winning this game in a landslide. Shane, what do you think?
Oh, Vikings are killing, bro. Vikings are gonna roll up on Washington and just be like, yawn. They're gonna kick in the front door, bro. I got Vikings winning by 14 plus. And shout out to the 20 in here right now. Shout out right now.
Yeah. And yeah, I haven't had that many people in I haven't had that many people in here on live, so that's a little bit intimidating, but thanks nonetheless. So moving forward, we're going to travel back in time. This is something that we started doing a few weeks ago with the history lesson. We were going to take you guys back to the old Maddens. Last week we did Madden 2001. This week we are doing Madden 2002. But first, what I like to do, kind of like what I did last time, was kind of set the scene back in the year 2002. And also, by the way, I want to preface this by saying that I understand that the Madden 2002 is based on the 2001 season. It's a year ahead, and I acknowledge that. But this has been kind of the way that I've been doing it, like so far. So I'm just gonna kind of stick with it. So I just want to make that clear so that people, you know, but I'm aware that that's the thing. So. All right, so to set the scene for the year 2002, we had the movies. 8 Mile came out during this year. This wasn't really my favorite movie when it came to rap, though. I kind of like the 50 Cent movie. What was it called? Like Get Rich or Die Trying. I kind of like that movie a little bit more, but that's still a solid movie. It's top five for me. And I'm surprised that they haven't done like a legit like Eminem biopic.
Yo,
Like,
Brittany Murphy was smoking though, bro.
oh really?
I'm just saying, bro. Brittany Murphy was smoking in that movie. Oh man, that's a sad death. Anyways, bro, my bad.
No, it's okay. So, but I mean, like, I'm surprised. Like, I would like to see an Eminem because like that movie was it was based about his career, but it wasn't really. But I'd like to see like a legit biopic of him, like they did with all the other rappers. I feel like that would be interesting. But so you had that. You had, I guess, Spider-Man came out during this time. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I'm not into either of those movies, so. But if you are, then that's cool as well. Shane, I want to ask you, were you a fan of Nelly back in the day?
Yo, I like some of his songs, bro. Yeah, you want to hear a little bit of tidbit if anybody's like, wondering about Nelly. Remember the Band-Aid on his
Uh,
face? Or are you too young?
oh yeah. I mean, I think I've seen it in like Longest Yard, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro, what? No, man. I'm talking about flat out he accidentally the Band-Aid was like the big craze around '01, '02, but you might have been like 5 years old then, so you know
Yeah.
um
It was
no, basically he accidentally cut himself and forgot about it and left the Band-Aid on for a concert, and everybody like was like, oh man, you see that new, and he didn't even mean to start the fad, but then once it started the fad, then he left it on. But yeah, I was a fan of Nelly for some of his songs. I definitely was, but I like Dilemma with Kelly Rowland and him. I know it's soft,
yeah,
but
dude.
I like that song.
Dude, that's like a classic. I mean, how can you not like that song? I mean, that song still slaps today, in my opinion.
Oh hell yeah, bro.
And I didn't really care for Hot in Here too much. I didn't really care for that one, but I do like every now and then, like you almost have to be in the mood to listen to this type of song. But Here Comes the Boom. I mean, every now and then, that's a song that you would go back to and listen to. But
Oh
it
definitely.
yeah. So he actually did he actually like came up not that long ago. He did a show in like the I think it was like the casino up in here. So I mean you know that your career's kind of in the toilet when you're doing shows up here. But anyway, but besides that, Um, the top five rap. It has to be like it has to be top 10 at least. But "Lose Yourself" by Eminem did come out during this time.
That was a good song. That was a
I would,
definitely good
yeah,
song.
yeah, for sure, definitely a classic. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of setting the scene about like what's popular besides the football, but now I want to actually before I get into the game, I want to talk about because I went into the draft of 2002 and I didn't look through all the rounds obviously, but I just picked like the notable players that were featured in that year's draft. And I have three tiers. I have the first overall was David Carr. That's not Derek Carr, right? Because I was looking at his name and I thought it was at first, but I was like, there's no way that's him. But I'm drawing a blank about who that David Carr is. But
David Carr's his brother, his older
oh,
brother. He went to the Texans, right?
yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was good. He was good for a while, but then you know how sorry Matt, I'm gonna say this, but you know how Darnold started seeing ghosts?
He started seeing ghosts.
He started seeing ghosts. He got sacked so much, bro. His whole time management behind the pocket, his clock was going off a little too soon, and then it was over. It was over then after that. Unfortunately for him, but man, some of these people they get stuck behind a bad team, and it hurts them more than it helps. So being the number one pick doesn't always mean the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I have the first overall pick, and I have the Hall of Fame, and also by the way, since there's people in here, I don't want to get roasted in the chat section. I want to also preface this like I don't know for 100% fact if these people are in the Hall of Fame or not. I just put Hall of Fame because I feel like that they're close to, if not pretty close to Hall of Fame status. And I also have like solid players that I don't think are Hall of Fame, but they were pretty solid when they did play. So for the Hall of Fame players that were drafted in the year 2002, I have Julius Peppers, Dwight Freeney, and Ed Reed were all drafted during that round.
Two of the three are Hall of Famers for sure. You said Dwight Freeney and Ed Reed, right?
Okay, but you don't think Julius Peppers is
He's
up there?
close. He's close.
Yeah.
He's close. He can get voted in probably a little later, but I think there's still like a players vote in poll, right? Is that still?
Right.
Yeah, I mean probably all three, yes, but definitely Ed Reed, definitely Dwight Freeney. I mean Dwight Freeney with the Colts was a bad man. I mean he was bad. He was a bad man. Ooh.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So for the solid players, and this is actually a good conversation for the chat too, because maybe people can discuss and then debate amongst themselves. Because this one might be a little bit debatable, but Jeremy Shockey, I put Jeremy Shockey in like the solid players, and like he was really solid. I feel like he was almost underrated because I almost totally forgot about him until I saw the list, and then I was reminded about how solid he really was. But
He not Hall of Fame to me, bro. Jeremy
yeah,
Shockey's not Hall of Fame. Is he good? Is he good? Yes. Can he look at his grandkids and kids and say, I was a good ass player in the NFL? Yep. Check, check, check. But is he Hall of Fame to me? Nope. Nope.
right.
NOPE. Nope.
So yeah, that's really the only one that's like debatable. The rest of these guys are like they're solid, but they're definitely not like really up to debate for for a Hall of Fame. You had Roy Williams. Roy Williams was pretty good when he played for Detroit. He wasn't no Megatron, obviously, but he was pretty solid when he did play wide
Yep. I
receiver.
agree. I agree. He came out of
Um,
Texas, I believe.
right. And then you had Albert Haynesworth. Albert Haynesworth was pretty good DN. I almost feel like he would almost be up there, but he kind of he was kind of on like a bad team. Like
Didn't he play for Washington Redskins and Tennessee
I
Titans?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Yeah, and then he like eye gouged somebody too later on in his career. He was good. He was good for a while, but I mean, I heard that his and if Albert ever hears this, man, he a big man, so don't take it out on me. I heard his work
For
ethic
real.
was below average.
Okay, so yeah,
But
that
I
makes
didn't say that. I didn't say that, Albert.
you didn't say
No, I'm just
that.
saying what some GMs were saying about him. I don't want no part of a 350-pound man.
All right, so and then this one I had to put it in here just for the memes, but Josh McCown. I mean for real. I mean like if anyone in here says that they aren't a fan of Josh McCown, like I mean for all that guy's done in his career, I feel like you have to be at least somewhat of a fan of Josh McCown for like how many teams he's been on throughout his career. You know what I mean?
He was a traveler, bro.
All right, and then finally we have probably one of the more underrated players. I think he didn't really go until the fifth round, but Brian Westbrook. And I feel like the tragedy with Brian Westbrook is that he played on a team with like Donovan McNabb, of course, Terrell Owens, and I almost feel like and let's not forget about their defense. I mean, their defense back then was hella scary. But I feel like he was almost a victim because he was like one of those guys that weren't. He let the play do the talking, if that makes sense. He was like one of those. He was one of those guys that, um, he would just let his play do the talking. He wouldn't really like celebrate or like, you know what I'm saying, like try to show off too much. But Brian Westbrook is definitely a solid player.
Oh,
Probably under.
definitely. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Alrighty, so pretty good draft class right here. Last, I want to go over the official Madden 2002 game. Um, so last year we had Eddie George for the Titans. He was on the cover, the first athlete ever to be on the cover. Before that, it was John Madden himself. Um,
You
so so
you said
so
Eddie
yeah.
George is this one?
Oh no, he was last year.
Oh, my bad. I
But
apologize.
but no, this year's Madden is Dante Culpepper. Back then you had Culpepper and you had Randy Moss basically tearing the league apart. Dynamic duo indeed. Um, like whatever happened to Dante Culpepper though? Like, oh, dude,
He was a shooting star, bro.
oh really?
Yeah, I don't think he lasted that long. Like I mean, he was good for like a couple years, and then he kind of like,
Not really.
that's what I think. That's what I remember. But I mean, he did have the freak. He had Randy Moss on his team. I mean, I'm sure I could throw it up, 30 yards. Moss will go get it.
For sure. I mean, hey, Moss was just like that, freak of an athlete. He was one of those guys. Um, but this game came out September 12th, 2001. Kind of interesting considering, Madden's nowadays they come out mid to late August. This one definitely had a bit of a later release date than most of them. This is actually the first Madden to feature the Houston Texans as an expansion team. Um, so yeah, it's always pretty cool. So for the 99 overalls, we had running back Marshall Faulk, Hall of Famer for sure. Tony Gonzalez,
Hall of
Jonathan,
Fame.
Hall of Fame, of course. Jonathan Ogden for the Ravens, he was a left tackle.
Hall of Fame.
Warren and Warren Sapp,
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, and then Ray Lewis,
Hall of
obviously,
Fame.
all Hall of Fame,
Damn, those were some badass men back then. Woo.
right? All right, so quickly, I want to go over each team's rating. The first team I'm seeing is the Baltimore Ravens, and they were at 99 overall. So that's pretty. That's
Wow.
pretty. I don't even remember like Madden's in the modern day where like a team itself was a 99. So
Wait,
that's pretty.
didn't Baltimore win the year before though with that defense, and they had like Trent Dilfer as their QB?
They did, yeah.
And there was no updating. There was no updating during the year, so they were just going off the previous year.
Yeah, yeah, so they just had to go through the previous year. So, but anyway, so you had the Titans at a 90 overall, the Jags at an 86 overall, the Cleveland Browns were a 77, Steelers were a 77, the Bengals were a 70. The New York Jets were an 86 overall. Shout out to Matt. Matt, if he's still watching, your team was actually pretty good back in the day. You had the Indianapolis Colts at an 83 overall. It's so weird to see the Colts and the Patriots in the same division.
Yeah, that is weird. That is really weird, actually. I bet some
Yeah,
of the younger people didn't even know that.
I didn't know that. And like were the Seahawks in the AFC too at one point?
They're in the AFC West until I believe after the 1999 season. I believe that was the last year we were in the AFC West, but we did start in the NFC West for a couple seasons and then came over to the AFC West. But now we're back in the NFC West, obviously.
Yeah, because I was looking at the quarterbacks or whatever, and they had the Seahawks in the AFC, and I was like, oh, I mean, it's crazy to think how. Anyway, the Bills were a 77, the Patriots were a 74, the Denver Broncos were a 90, the Raiders were an 88, Seahawks were an 83, the Chargers were a 79, the Chiefs were a 74, Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a 92, the Detroit Lions were an 86. The Green Bay Packers were an 86. The Vikings were an 86. The Bears were a 77. The Philadelphia Eagles were an 88. The Giants were an 81. The Redskins were a 79. The Cowboys were a 72. The Cards at a 70. The Rams at an 86. 88, excuse me. The Saints were a 79. The 49ers were a 74. The Falcons were a 70, and the Carolina Panthers at a 68. And for the expansion franchise roster, the Houston Texans were rated at a whopping 44 overall. So there you have it for the history lesson for today. Always a good time to kind of reflect back on the older Maddens, well, older time in general, and see how things have changed from then until this point right now currently. So, but I mean, with that being said, we are about it's 1:52 right now. So, with that being said, Shane, is there anything else that you one more thing. I briefly want to talk about this, but the Madden curse, we saw Patrick Mahomes get injured. I feel like the Madden curse is real. I want to know what you guys think about that. That should have been my question to begin with. But I mean,
Oh, yeah. I like that. Comment section. Do you believe in the Madden curse? There's enough people in here, boys and girls. Answer in the comment section. I apologize, Trey, for interrupting. -5 points for Shane.
-5 points. But I think it's real though. Personally, I think that the Madden curse is real. And the thing that's funny is that I heard people saying that, oh, they shouldn't put athletes on the Madden cover anymore. They should just switch back to John Madden. And I was like, Patrick Mahomes is about 22 to 23 years old. If he gets a leg injury, he'd be fine. But if John Madden gets a hip or a leg injury, it's pretty much over for him.
But yo, what if you put him back on the cover and he dies? I don't want any part of that, man. I don't want any part of that. Yo, shout out to John Madden, though, man. Shout out to John Madden.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Just put a hearse on the freaking cover next time. Wow.
Oh man, so
So definitely, I'm gonna say something. You guys be sure to check out streams tonight. It is the club championships wave one. You got the New England Patriots club for one. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the Jacksonville one. Those come out tonight. Thursday night, you can see some people streaming on Twitch starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And then there will be Wave 2, which I am part of on Sunday. So I will be playing Sunday night. Then I will update everybody how I did in the following podcast, which is is the 31st, which will be Halloween, you guys. So that one will be between 4 to 5. And yeah, so I'll update you guys definitely on how I do. Hopefully I make it. Hopefully I have some good news. The next podcast will be October 31st at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. before people go trick-or-treating or go to parties or whatever they're going to do. Shout out to all the people in here today, man. Trey and I greatly appreciate it. Trey, is there anything else you want to say? And if anyone else has questions.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, if you guys want to ask us any questions, what we usually do is that we'll do like, the regular podcast topics, and then, if someone's in the chat, then we might say, like, yeah, you're right. But, no, if you guys want to ask questions, you can leave them in the chat, or you can leave them in the comment section. And then if you leave it in the comment section, we will bring it up in the following podcast for sure, near the end of the podcast. So definitely, if you guys have any questions for that. But I mean, overall, you guys, I appreciate you guys for checking in. Hopefully my stage fright didn't kick in a little bit when I realized that we had a little bit of an audience going on. But other than that, I appreciate you guys checking in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Mr. Horn, hold on. We got some predictions he wants us to do. KC, I'm going with Serious Mo to win the Kansas City Club. And then I got one of my boys getting second place in it. So I think he will get second. Serious Mo will get number 1. So my boy will make live. Mo will make live. New England Patriots is going to be J-Wall and Skimbo. Hopefully Iron McNasty can make it. Go! You guys go tune in and root for Iron McNasty. He's a really cool guy, really friendly. Hopefully he makes it. Hopefully he upsets Skimbo on the PS4, or at least gets top 2. Jacksonville, I believe it's going to be Drini and Shanegotyou11 Philly, I don't believe W wins it. I believe it'll be Figgy and a random. You know what? Let me pull this up real quick, you guys. Since you guys did ask me that was a very good question, you guys. I mean, anyone else have any trade? Who do you think's winning KC? Anybody?
I mean, I'm not really involved in the competitive circuit like that at this moment, but I mean, since you said Serious Mo was competing, I'm not really sure who the other contestants are, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that Serious Mo will win. Once we find out who's going to be actually competing at it wouldn't be the Madden Bowl, it would be like the salary cap championship or whatever.
The club championship. Club
Correct.
championship. I definitely got my boy getting second and then Mo first, but I think my boy is gonna upset. Tune in, man. Tune in tonight, you guys. I'm going over it really quick. Like the Giants Club. I mean, a lot of them have fake names, unfortunately, so it's really, really hard. In the Giants, I probably have Noah up next, but I mean, that's a weak-ass club. I mean, I know it's going to sound bad, but yeah, that's not really good club to me. The Rams on the PS4 side, I got Trues and I got Dak like lasers, which is Pawnee, Montana, making it. J.C. Chavez Sr., that's a sleeper pick, you guys. LA Rams 4th seed is J.C. Chavez Sr. If he is able to control the ball, he will go far. He can't pass, though. He can't pass. He's like Helen Keller at midnight. Anyways, but that's just some guesses, you guys. Go support some of these people, man. Some of these underlying names that you don't know anybody next about really. Like, I mean, the rest, like Dreeny and Skimbo. But it'd be actually really nice for the community to get some new blood in. So, my sleeper pick in the LA Rams is going to be JC Senior, because I think he will be able to slow people down. We'll see if my predictions are right next Thursday. But you guys, we are going to go. So everybody be safe this weekend. Shout out to all the competitors out there. Hopefully, next weekend, next Thursday on Halloween, I have some good news for everybody. But also, remember, the podcast before Thanksgiving and the podcast before Christmas, we will be giving away gift cards to our subscribers that join us in the podcast. So anyways, you guys, until next week, everybody enjoy their weekend. This is the West Coast Madden podcast featuring Trey and I. Also, Trey and Shanegotyou11 are always down the road. We will have some guests tune in and talk in the last 15 minutes, but we just want to get our foot in the door. So anyways, you guys, until next Thursday, it's Shanegotyou11 and Trey and the West Coast Madden podcast.